Welcome back, besties, and happy Monday. It is actually Sunday, but you're seeing this on Monday, so I always feel I have to tell you guys exactly what's going on. So I have just returned from a girls' weekend, not quite weekend, but girls' trip to Lake George. So I am excited to start putting the footage together for that. Did I lose weight? Did I gain weight? What happened while we were away? And how the week went and what's going on for the week ahead. So join me, will you? Welcome, my friends. I am Cheryl. This is my channel where I have been documenting my weight loss journey and all of the fun that goes along with all of that. Vacations, travel, things that I've been doing while losing weight, as well as grocery hauls and shopping videos because I'm buying clothes and stuff that I've never bought before, along with other hauls and things of that nature. So if that is anything that you're interested in, go and hit the subscribe button, stick around and hang out with us. So for the time being, let's just discuss this past week. And while I do that, I'm going to sip on my water that I got right from the mineral spring at Saratoga yesterday. So Kyla and I went on a little girls trip for a couple of nights. And yesterday on the way home, we stopped in Saratoga Springs, which if you've been to upstate New York and you've been up there is just absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend anyone who can take a trip up there just for a day if you can, to walk through the national park, or I don't know if it's called national park but Saratoga State Park. It is unbelievable. I could have stayed there for a week. I could have slept on the grass by the brook. It was incredible. And there's mineral springs all throughout and natural water things that you can get water from, and one of them is just tastes like spring water, and they're supposed to have like healing effects and help with circulation and all kinds of things. So I brought back a bottle for my parents, and I filled up my cup that I had in the car, so I'm drinking my water. I put it in the fridge overnight, and I'm going to drink half of that and then let my husband have the rest when he comes home. So how did it go? Did I gain some weight again or what? So I actually stayed about the same. So when I didn't weigh myself right before I left. So on Tuesday I was 148.4. I didn't weigh myself Wednesday or Thursday. At least if I did, I didn't register it in my app. And my memory is just getting worse and worse. So this morning I was 148.6. So technically, no, I did not gain any weight. And that was with, I did drink. I had alcohol a couple of times. So my last shot was Sunday of last week. So we left on Thursday. So Thursday afternoon at lunch, I had like a cocktail. And then that night, Thursday night, we went out and I had bought some Malibu Splash in like a cup. In like a can. I had like 1.5 of those and a couple of shots of tequila on a tiki boat that we were on. So watch for those videos because we had a lot of fun in Lake George. On Friday, guys, I did something I never in a quadrillion years ever would have thought about, ever would have done, ever would have filmed, but I went parasailing. It was absolutely unbelievable. If you've been parasailing, you know, not at all what I expected it to be, not at all what I thought it would be. It was just like we were floating up in air. I was a little nervous in the beginning about it because I tend to get motion sickness. That is not the case. If you've been, you know, and there will be some footage. We met these two incredible ladies on the boat with us that went up before us that I also taped and sent to them. And then they did the same for us. And as it turns out, when we got off the boat and we were talking to them, they were both doctors in New Jersey, and they were just the most lovely, lovely ladies. So Dr. Shelley, if you guys happen to see this, you guys were an absolute delight, and we had an absolute blast with you guys. So I went parasailing. This is not something that I ever in a million trillion years, guys, would have even considered. Last year, actually, my son jokingly asked me when we were in Lake George to go, and I was like, no way. He was not upset that I went. He actually didn't really want to go, and I told him I would go back with him, and he was like, I'm good. I think most of my fear from it came from my weight, to be honest with you. I was nervous about anything like that because, number one, I didn't want to be weighed for anything. And whenever there's a weight limit on something, and there is a weight limit on parasailing, my first thought is like, are they going to just look at me and think like she's too fat to go? Or are they going to look at me and think we need to check and make me get on a scale? Are they going to ask me how much I weigh? And that was always like a huge fear of mine. Not to mention the fact that now I'd have to put on a life jacket and straps. And I always had this fear of like the life jacket not fitting and things not fitting or the straps breaking. When we got there, we checked in, signed our waivers, and this lovely young man came over and said, okay, I'm going to get you guys going. And he looked at us and he handed me a life jacket and said, here, I think this will fit you. Go over here and I'll meet you there. And I looked at it and I was like, there's no way. It was a small medium. And I got a little nervous for a minute and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to put this on. And it fit perfectly and he had to tighten it up. But those were the things that we were most afraid of, you know? That was the thing I was the most afraid of, is not being able to fit into things, breaking things, them looking at me, knowing that I'm overweight. And that was kind of the first time in this whole journey that I realized maybe I don't look as fat as I think I do to other people anymore. You know, we have a hard time with our own perception of ourselves and how we think people see us. And I know you guys are all amazing and you keep telling me how great I look, but to be in another state with a young 20, 22-year-old who doesn't know you from Adam and kind of has to size you up and give you what they think is going to be, you know, your appropriate life jacket, and for him to think I was a small or medium as opposed to the 2X that I would have been in the past was crazy. And it made me choke up a little bit. It's making me choke up a little bit now, but it was an unbelievable experience going up there and just kind of sitting up above the lake and just watching. It was awesome. It was relaxing. It was chill. Something I never in a million years. There was just so much emotion in it because it's something that I would never have allowed myself to even try because I would have been so scared. Even to start the whole thing off, you have to go with all of your gear on and sit flat on the back of this boat and they lift you up. And that would have been something that I would have had such a hard time doing a year and a half ago. To get on the ground and sit was really, really hard. It was really tricky. So I had no issue doing that. So it was absolutely amazing. So just watch for those videos because I will be putting together some Lake George videos coming up. They might be in a few different parts because we did get super, super lucky, and some places sponsored us to go and do some things. We did pay for parasailing, but we were able to do a couple of other things that I'm going to do some videos about. So that was fantastic. So we were super, super, I mean, I say active, but like we walked a lot. I walked much more than I would have if I was just at home. So Friday, which was weird because Friday was like the day we did parasailing in the morning, and we did then we went back and we sat on the beach and we ate our lunch and we went in the lake and stuff like that. And that was the day we did 12,000 steps, because we were kind of walking around the lake. And then we went up to the ranch and I showed Kyla around and we walked around up there. So that was just awesome. And then Saturday we went to Saratoga State Park and we visited all of the springs and we walked around there. I could have walked around there forever. Unfortunately, we did need to drive home, so it was just fantastic. It was such a good time and something that I would not have been able to enjoy the way that we did 2 years ago. So losing 70 pounds is just given me so much. So this was definitely a non-scale victory for me. You guys know I've been having issues with my wedding ring. My wedding ring is actually over here. Oh, no, it's not. I have not been able to wear my wedding ring in over a year. My wedding ring is so big that it falls off. So I sized up my wedding band. I mean, it's completely, I could take the whole thing off. I don't want it to fall on the floor, but it doesn't. It's too big on my middle fingers. So I don't wear my wedding ring, but I had sized them up years ago when I got bigger. So I'm still nervous to size them down. Maybe it makes me a little sad. But I've showed you guys, my husband had given me another ring years ago that I used to wear on the other hand. That's now too big. I purchased a different ring about 6 or so months ago that I was wearing. That's too big. So I recently bought another one that a couple of you had commented on how pretty it was, but it's obviously fake. But the diamond is just too big for work and stuff like that. So when we were in Lake George, I said to the young man, I said, I don't know what size I wear. I'm trying to find a ring. So I bought this. It's a size 6. I've never worn a size 6. My pinky was probably a size 6 before, but it's a size 6. So non-scale victory. I purchased this at the Tom Tom on Canada Street. So shout out to them. They were very sweet and waited with me. And I just thought it was a little bit more simple and more just like a band. But I don't like to not have something on. So there is my new wedding ring. And all of my this one kind of fits me on this hand. And that's still too big. My sister-in-law bought me this years ago. And then I couldn't wear it for the longest time, but I always thought that was so pretty. And I tried to wear that on that hand at one point too, but I can't. I think that's like a 7.5, but that was my ring from my sister-in-law. So, tonight will be shot day. I will take another 12.5 because last week I took 10 because I still had one in the refrigerator. So I started 12.5 2 weeks ago, then I took a 10 just so it doesn't go to waste. And now 12.5. Now, I don't know from here where we're gonna go. Originally, my refill day was supposed to be August 8th or 9th. And I tried to do that on Friday. And that, doctors sometimes, that prescription was canceled. So when I was at my doctor, she said, okay, I'll send in another 12.5 for you. And I said, well, the pharmacist already did that for 2 months. And she said, well, let me just do it anyway to be sure. Her sending in a new one canceled out my old one. My old one would have come up on August 8th for 2 months from my pharmacist. My doctor called in a 1 month, and now I can't fill it until August 15th. I don't know what's going to happen. I stopped at my parents' yesterday to tell them I was home and give them their water from the spring. And my sister-in-law was there, who has been on Zepbound for several months. She's in maintenance. She did Wegovy and then switched to Zepbound, finished out her journey, and she's in maintenance. And she's been on Zepbound 5, and her prescription was due. She sent it in, and they rejected it, even though her doctor had done the prior auth. Her doctor had sent in the override, done all the paperwork. It was canceled, and they sent it in they approved it for the Wegovy. So, and hers had been for a couple of months still, even though it was denied. They'd been covering it for 2 months. So that made me nervous. So I don't know what's going to happen. And now I have to wait until next Friday to find out, which stinks because now I go into another weekend. So I did send a message to the pharmacist asking her to look into it, because when she had put it through for the 2 months, I had gotten it. And now I haven't had anything filled in 2 months. So I'm just, again, here we are in the waiting game. But I will keep you all informed. So today I will take my 12.5. We will, continue to see what happens. I need to figure out some lunches. Some lunches and some dinners for the week. I'd like to get some healthy stuff. I'm going Tuesday to my girlfriend Mary's. We're going to have like a swim pool day, probably do like a healthy salad. She was just texting me. I bought this amazing balsamic. We went to this place in Lake George. It's the Lake George Olive Oil Company, and they've got all kinds of olive oils and balsamics. Like you can taste them and buy whatever. And the owner said to me, I like a balsamic. She said, try the cranberry pear infused balsamic. And I was like, She said, no, trust me. She said, it is on a salad bar on a steakhouse here in town. She said, it's fantastic. So I tried it. Oh my goodness, guys. It was so good. So I actually bought it, and I want to make a salad in the worst way. So here is the Lake George olive oil company, and they get olive oil and balsamic from all over the world. I think this one was from California. Yeah, this one is from California, but it's infused with cranberry pear. Just like that, you don't need anything. I don't need it. I can't wait to have a salad. It tastes so good. So my girlfriend Mary was just texting me. So here is the olive oil company here, if you had any interest in it. It was amazing. And if I go back there, I can bring my bottle back and get 10% off, and they'll refill it right in the bottle. But I told Mary, just make a salad. I want a salad so bad because I want to have this on a salad. It was so good. So good. So we're doing a pool day, and then Wednesday, my husband, my son, and I are going up to New Hampshire, and we are actually going to go ride our ATVs. So while I was away, my husband and son were doing the safety class, because Ryder needs to do the safety class to get like registered or licensed, being under, like, he's a minor. So he had to take like a course online. My husband said it took 6 hours. So they did that while I was away. And my husband had to register our ATVs and everything up in New Hampshire. And we are going riding for the day. Again, something I never in a million years would have done before, but I'm excited just to go with them and spend the day in New Hampshire. I haven't been to New Hampshire in a while. So I'm going to pack, I'll probably do maybe I'll do some pockets, like chicken or turkey, and do some like pockets and bring up some fruit, I'm thinking, and water, obviously. So I'm thinking, I just texted my husband. I'm like, what's the deal? Am I like making lunches? So I'm going to do that. Oh, he's texting me now. Yeah, we'll do some sandwiches, he said. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to make. I'm going to make some sandwiches. So that's Tuesday and Wednesday anyway. It's going to be hot here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm going to start putting together a little bit of a meal plan. If I come up with anything fantastic. I don't know if I showed you guys the Korean barbecue sloppy joes I did a couple of weeks ago. I'll double check. If I showed you, then you're good. And if I didn't, I'll show you guys when I make them. I'll either make them this week or next week. Ryder requested them again. He loved them. And instead of like sloppy joe mix that you would normally do, it's with some like soy and, Asian kind of seasonings, and Ryder loved it. I'm just not sure what a good side with that would be. Maybe a vegetable. like I just can't, like, normally if I make a sandwich, I would give them like French fries or tater tots and I would have just a couple, but it doesn't seem like it really goes together really good with like Korean barbecue. So if you think of anything that would be awesome that a 15-year-old who doesn't eat vegetables might eat, let me know. What else do I have here I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh, you guys are awesome. And we hit my 4,000 subscriber goal by my birthday. So my birthday is 1 week from today, August 17th. And my goal was to get to 4,000 subscribers by my birthday. And you guys blew it out of the water, knocked it out of the park. We are at about 4,100 already. So that happened while we were on vacation. As we were going to bed the other night, I looked and I was like, Kyla, oh my God. I went to New York with my best friend, Kyla. I hit 4,000. So that was amazing. I was so excited. So my new goal is 5,000 by Labor Day. I know you guys can do it. So if you are new, I love all of you new subscribers. Go hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 5,000 by Labor Day. And if you are new and there's anything specific that you're looking for, that you have questions about, that you think you would like to see a video about, please drop it in the comments. I would love to help you guys. I had a few questions last week about the protein coffee, and that's why I did that video. And oh my God, the reception on that video was unbelievable. So thank you guys so much for the love and support on that as well. You guys have been phenomenal. I love all of you so very much. So it was a great week. I did not lose, but I did not gain, and that was while being on vacation. Obviously, I was a little bit more active, but I did have some alcohol. We didn't really eat much. Like, I think it's very different when you go on a girls' trip as opposed to like a family trip where, like with my husband, we sit down, we have a dinner. We didn't really do that. One day we had lunch, we split a sandwich. There was fries with it. We both ate like maybe 5 fries. I did have a drink. And then before we did our evening things, which you'll see, Kyla had made some calzones. So I had like maybe this much of a sausage calzone in the car before we did another boat ride. And there was some alcohol on that one. And then the next day we got fresh tacos. Kyla had a taco salad from this Mexican place on Canada Street. And I had some fresh tacos on the beach. And then that night for dinner, we went up to the ranch. We weren't really hungry, and we had some drinks at different points, like a drink here, a drink there. I wasn't drinking and driving. So we ended up having a piece of cornbread at the bar, and so we didn't really have. And then yesterday we stopped at Fat Paulie's in Saratoga. It was a delicatessen, and I got a lean corned beef sandwich. And I had half of that there and then half of that for my dinner last night. So if you guys are in Saratoga, Fat Paulie's, way to go. So, so good. Yeah, so it was a pretty chill, relaxed day, trip, whatever. So anyway, I thank you guys so much. Watch for those videos to come out. I think you will enjoy. We had a blast, and I just thank all of you for being here with me on this journey to get me this far and get me there, because it was awesome. So I will talk to you guys real soon. Thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, you be the sunshine. Love you. Bye.